During Black History Month, we often reflect on the past, of course, but for one local chef, the focus is really on building something lasting for the future.
NBC5's Yunye Martinez joins us live in the studio now to introduce us to him. Yunye.
Lauren, Jack, when I tell you that food isn't just a business for Andrew Ganyu, it's its entire identity. And during Black History Month, it's a reminder that his story is still unfolding.
Inside a small kitchen in Milton, Andrew Ganyu, known as Chef Pop, moves with intention behind every plate. But the journey to get to this point started long before the stove ever turned on.
I was adopted and raised here in Vermont. Really kind of just raised like most Vermonters would be raised, but I was very fortunate. The family that cared for me, they had a strong work ethic.
Ganyu is a 7th-generation Black Vermonter and says he discovered his family's roots trace back to the Revolutionary War.
How many people can say that they're 7th generation, right? Then understand that you have children, and that's 8th generation, and then you're Black. So it all is like, well, you're like, whoa. This is a bigger deal than just being 7th generation, right?
Growing up in Duxbury, he says racism wasn't always obvious, but that changed when he left Vermont after high school.
It was like the first few days, I was walking down the street and this guy drives by and he said, "Go back to Africa," and I hadn't engaged in it in a public way, just in an institutional way in school.
He calls the moment a wake-up call, forcing him to confront culture, identity, and resilience. When he returned home, he says food became discipline as a way of healing.
Everything has one purpose, and that purpose is to finish and to be beautiful and to feed people and to heal people, right? So what I've tried to do is I've tried to learn as much as I can from the different areas that I'm fond of, and that I love the flavors or the herbs or the spices. And then I say I'm not going to back myself in the corner, and I'm also not going to become complacent and just stay at where something is good. And I'm going to bring it to great. And that's what this food is. And that's what this food's trying to be.
That mindset became the force behind the restaurant Humble Revelry. Earlier this year, the business was tested when a car slammed through the front of the building. They had to close and rebuild.
The window and everything, it almost doesn't matter now. It's like when we went through it, the initial shock, like I said, was hard. But then you're like, okay, we've been through way more.
Fast forward to today, and it's a place Chef Pop can pour his heart and soul into as he looks ahead to a more permanent space to grow.
I want my sons to see how hard I work so that they work a little bit harder in their life. But I also want them to see how proud I am of them of trying to work with me. And for my wife, she's my number one. She's always been that way since I met her. Here, we're definitely going to go to a place that is our own. There's no going forward with Humble Revelry having to pay somebody else to have our establishment. We need to be able to have a place that is what the property, everything is 100% ours.
Chef Pop tells me his goal is to have a space where he can help those struggling with addiction or homelessness as a way to give back to the community, just like they did for him. Live in the studio, I'm Yunye Martinez, NBC5 News.